Hello everyone, this is Commander Trium, talking to you once again from the Elite Universe. This is our second chapter tonight. And we have got to switch ships up and make a move to get our merits looked after, so that's what we're going to do right now. So we can have access to services from Aisling Zival for the week ahead, including the prismatic shield adjustment. I think we might have to make a move over to Davis Hub. And in fact, that's precisely where we're going. So,
disengaged. Go for departure.
Landing gear retracted.
convenience and safety, pacification emplacements are active and tracking at this station. Avoid unnecessary destruction. Do not block the access corridor. Aware of oncoming traffic in the access corridor. Observe minimum clearance distance. Mind your speed and your surroundings. Avoid costly collisions. Checked your bay number. Check again. Unauthorized loitering may trigger a lethal response. Convenience and safety, pacification emplacements are active and tracking at this station. Blocking bay access is a crime. Don't risk annihilation. Make way. Fly responsibly. Ensure you complete docking procedures within your allotted time window. Fly responsibly. Ensure you complete docking procedures within your allotted time window. access is a crime. Don't risk annihilation. Make way. Fly smart, fly safe. Reduce your speed inside the docking bay. For your convenience and safety, pacification emplacements are active and tracking at this station. Do you have authorization to be inside the docking bay? Remember, loitering is a violation. This station operates under a docking reservation policy. Ensure you have authorization before attempting to disembark. Fly responsibly. Ensure you complete docking procedures within your allotted time window. Loitering is a crime, punishable by death. Please make sure you have authorization before you enter the docking bay. Blocking bay access is a crime. Don't risk annihilation. Make way. Welcome to our station. ensure you complete docking procedures within your allotted time window. This station operates under a docking reservation policy. Ensure you have authorization before attempting to disembark. Blocking bay access is a crime. Don't risk annihilation. Make way. Always proceed directly to your allotted bay to avoid unnecessary delays and/or ship destruction. Loitering is a crime, punishable by death. Please make sure you have authorization before you enter the docking bay. Access corridor is designated a no-stop zone. Blockages will be removed using lethal force. Have authorization to be inside the docking bay? Remember, loitering is a violation. Be aware of oncoming traffic in the access corridor. Observe minimum clearance distance. Operates a zero-tolerance policy towards criminal infractions. Obey station law. surroundings. Avoid costly collisions. Checked your bay number. Check again. Unauthorized loitering may trigger a lethal response. Always proceed directly to your allotted bay to avoid unnecessary delays and/or ship destruction. Blocking bay access is a crime. Don't risk annihilation. Make way. For your convenience and safety, pacification emplacements are active and tracking at this station. Crashes cost. Kill your speed, not your credit balance. Crashes cost. Kill your speed, not your credit balance. Unsanctioned acts of aggression will not be tolerated. Obey station law and enjoy your stay. Avoid unnecessary destruction. Do not block the access corridor. station operates under a docket reservation policy. Ensure you have authorization before attempting to disembark. Loitering is a crime, punishable by death. Please make sure you have authorization before you enter the docking bay.
For God's sake.
Call unsuccessful.
from hangar 020. Please comply with station regulations on your approach to this Imperial facility.
Welcome to the Empire, everyone.
Scan detected.
Let's see here.
Please throttle back on approach, Commander. Excessive speeding will not be tolerated. Permission granted. We have prepared for your arrival on pad 3-2. We are ready to engage the automatic docking system.
Oh, good.
Landing gear deployed.
Touchdown confirmed. Lockdown procedure initiated. The services of this Imperial facility are at your disposal, Commander.
Okay. So we need 400 merits. Okay. Now we should be able to do this all in one trip. Oh, one other thing we forgot to do. Oh, we can't do it here. We'll have to wait till we return. Gnesiat Dock. We're going to need about 10 trips in order to get our 13 million credits. So, I guess that's not too bad. Be nice if it was a bit less, but... Oh, it's going to be a little over 10 trips. It'll be more like 11 or 12. Shut up, cat. No. Let's see here. Nearest one is Kirk Zedran.
Caller disconnected.
No answer, eh? Expansion target. Well, it looks like number 4 is the closest, so we'll go there. Okay, we have a target. It's a high value target. little planet.
Frameshift drive charging. Fuel sync disengaged.
Good God, what an odd system this is. Got lots of metals though. Heavy, heavy, heavy. Oh my God. There's polonium. Okay, we'll be back in just a moment. There we go. After a brief video malfunction. Oh, for God's sake. Ay, 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 ay. Of course, we've long since begun our deceleration maneuver. It's unfortunate that you can't always figure out in every system from far away exactly how far away the jump points are, and some of them are annoyingly long in terms of gameplay. I mean, obviously crossing between two stars less than a light year apart in under 10 minutes is still quite an achievement technically, but
Cooler disconnected.
oh, that's good news. My friend from Mexico City has just logged in. Let's see if he's interested in 13 million credits. Hello.
What's up?
I have a mission here for 13 million credits. Are you still across the galaxy somewhere?
Yep.
Joint mission has less than 23 hours left on it for 13 million credits.
Oh, give it to me. I'll take it. I'm not picky.
1 second, I'll invite you to the wing.
1 second. Let me replot my course. There we go.
Okay, I've sent a wing prompt to you.
Yep. There you go.
1 moment.
It'll take me about 20 hours to get back. Not really. It'll take me a couple, I think.
Well, the thing is, I might have to stay logged in for this. I'm not sure. If not, I'll be back tomorrow to continue. You're in the central time zone, so it should be... there should still be some overlap, but...
If not, fuck it. It's only 6 million credits.
No, you get the full 13.
What? When did that happen?
It's a wing mission, so you get everything.
Oh, no shit. You sure?
Yeah, we both get 13. I'm absolutely sure about
okay.
that. That's why this is such a cool offer, because this doesn't happen very often. Just 1 second, I have to slow down here. I'm gonna crash into this planet. If I don't slow down, I don't want that. Whoops.
Oh my god, this 92 jumps.
That's it? If I joined that Small Worlds campaign, it only would have been 147 jumps to complete the entire circuit in my Diamondback. But that was during the free long weekend that we had last during the US Memorial Day long. So I didn't want to overlap and take off outside the bubble during when everything got cheap. So and plus I had a new ship I need to upgrade, so I stayed inside the bubble for that weekend in order to upgrade everything. Okay, so now there we go. We have to offer you share. Okay, you should have the share now.
Commander of a wing master, check your transaction panel. Okay, great. Yeah, okay, transactions. What the fuck's my transactions panel? Oh, here we go. Acquired. Convey goods, the second hub, third hub. Okay, sure, got it.
Yeah. I'm trying to offer it to all my wingmen, but they're like, there's no one here except you. Squaddle's not here tonight.
I got an intel. I scanned an intel package of a crashed ship, like way out in one of those fucking nebulas, like way on some random moon, and it's a fucking Empire intel package. 4,000 credits, right? So they're offering me 4,000 credits for 5,000 light years. I happen to discover one of their crashed ships.
Yeah, they're boosting exploration with the next update, so you'll probably get more money at the end of the month in a couple weeks.
I'm just like, what the hell is that crap, you know?
Yeah.
Like fly all the way across like this like quadrant of space.
That's why I'm waiting till the end of the month before I do any more exploration, because they're gonna.
I need to get that Professor Palin thing.
Oh,
identify
I see.
signal source.
Yeah. You gotta go explore half the galaxy or something in order to get it. I already went outside the bubble like 6,000 light years, and so I was able to get in there.
Well, I still didn't get the message, and I have over 5,000 light years.
Well, then you should be fine.
Yeah, but when am I gonna get the message? What the fuck?
You don't get a message till you come back into the bubble and you come back to Professor Palin. Yeah. He's not gonna like ping you like out in the middle of the galaxy somewhere and say, oh, by the way, you can come back now. You just have to go back to his base and show him that you've traveled 5,000 light years.
Well, I'm not gonna like come begging him for anything.
Well, all right.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, hold on. Okay, now.
What the fuck? I can't open my cargo scoop?
Okay, we're gonna dock here. We're at Jones City. We're in the Empire. Deep in the Empire right now. I have to go back to Earth right away. I've been doing all kinds of passenger missions near Earth, trying to figure out if I can make money. And sometimes you make good money, and then sometimes you get shit. Just depends on the day. But lately it's been crappy, so I'm going to go back to deliveries again. It seems to be the most reliable way to make money ahead of this update.
Yeah, I don't even know what to do about like waiting for these updates. I want to kind of get more Thargoid missions, you know what I mean?
Oh, if you want Thargoids, come to me. I'll help you find the Thargoids. You just have to look at Eagle Eye on Canon and go help do the containment runs.
Yeah, but I want to get like the progression as much as possible to see like who explains what story. And Professor Palin is like the first step, no?
Yeah, he's important. You need to have him, but there's also Ramta and the Guardians. And the Guardians.
Yeah, but the Guardians.
Well, they're related to this. they're with the Thargoids. Like they're both related to one another. So you
Yeah,
can't.
but that's a later plot development. That's not like. I mean, I want to do early plot first, like really get like.
Oh, okay.
See how it's laid out, so I get myself oriented.
Yeah, I guess.
Like, I'm not gonna go to. Yeah, I want to see. I want to discover what's happening based on like old like news reports.
Yeah, but you know what? Oh shit! I wonder if I should give you access to this website that Esquadla and I both have access to. We put all of our information in there, and we're saving up for trying to build a squadron so we can have a fleet carrier in at the end of the year.
Yep.
Anyway, you need to have a Microsoft account, like one of their logins. Which means you just have to register your email, basically. That's all that matters. And then you can log into it, and that's it. And I add to it, not too infrequently, about 3 or 4 times a week. And the squad adds one every once in a while. But I would have to get your email address to send you an invite. So pick an email if you have one and send it to me. You have commander.trium@aprifactory.ca.
What? Apri-Factory?
Yep.
Okay, commander.trium.
.trium, CMDR.trium at
Yep.
Alpha Papa, and then and then factory, all one word, .ca.
Yeah, give me a bit. I mean, we're still ways off anyway, so fuck it.
Send it whenever, I'll add you.
Yeah.
It'll only take a moment when I get it, but you need to have the invite email, otherwise you can't get access to the site, so I have to email this.
How is this gonna be going? I'm trying to figure out, like, what direction they're planning on doing for, like, multiplayer, like, group campaign games. Because right now it's, like, points and stuff, which is a pretty cool idea, no? But
Yeah.
you can't build squadrons based on that. And people are complaining, oh, we want to have 300-member squadrons. I've never seen that many people in this game.
Well, you go to Inara. If you go to Inara's website, they have a couple. There's a few squadrons there with more than 250 members, but
yeah, but none of them are even close to active. Like if you go to any of the Discord pages,
really,
the most you get is like 10 people.
Oh yeah, well you're not going to have.
Anytime.
Yeah, you're not going to have like 300 people logged in simultaneously. It's not.
Yeah, well, why not like 40 or 50?
You could, yeah. If you had a really active faction, like Mobius. Mobius is an example of a really active faction. They have 40 or 50 people logged in at a time. But Mobius is PvE exclusively. They don't do PvP. Unless someone attacks them, of course. But they have their own private server.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want to play on a private server. What the fuck, you know?
Amazon lets you create server spaces so you can have copies of Elite running around all over the place if you want. So the Galaxy is the same and it updates the same, but no one can. You can have like different options.
Yeah, I'm not really into like private test server instant stuff. Like I like the idea of this game being like completely universal.
Open. Well, the open is best because that's what gives you access to new people, right? You can't get new people anywhere else. You can only get it on open. So if you want to make friends or contacts or add to your friends list, you have to be in open realistically. You can play solo, but no one's going to talk to you in solo. Like, not really. Not unless they're already friends with you.
What the hell is Obsidian at? What's his commander name?
Who?
Obsidian Ant.
Oh, he's, he's Obsidian Ant. I don't know if he changes his name for commander, but he just does coverage. He's press. He does coverage of Elite Dangerous and a few other games on his YouTube site. And he's on Patreon as well. He's a big fan of Patreon. All the Brits are big fans of Patreon for some reason. I guess.
I know some Americans are. I don't know. Fuck Patreon. Shit. What am I trying to figure out?
Starboard services. Welcome to Jones City, in the Empire.
I'd like to find out why this fucking thing I'm in doesn't have any neutron stars.
What? You have no neutron stars? Go to that.
No, the neutron stars are spread out by 500 light years.
Did you go to that neutron star site to plot the neutron star highway?
Yeah, they're 500 light years apart. And I did the map, the in-game plotting, and it pretty much connects to them anyway. Like, they're on the route. So I was like trying to experiment, like which one's more efficient.
I did that before. It depends what part of the galaxy you're in, but like, I don't know. The one I had was slightly more efficient, so I used their plot on the website. But I mean, you pick the plot that's the most efficient. There's different plotting mechanisms. But
500 light years apart means I'd have to make
10 jumps at least.
I have to make 10 jumps.
Yeah.
Just to skip 4 jumps, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's still worth it because those 4 jumps still take time, right? So they'll save time, but in terms of resources, not so much. And they used to make them back in the day. Apparently, in the early days of Elite, they could have like 8 times, like you could have 800% jump distance on some neutron stars. Now they go, the maximum a neutron star can give you is only 400%. So they only give you times 4.
Yeah.
So that's why it's only 4 jumps, because it's times 4.
But what's going to happen, I'm sure, is they're going to improve the engines to where you're going to get way more jump range eventually in this game.
Oh yeah. Well, if you find Raxla, you'll be able to jump to the Andromeda Galaxy. That's 2.5 light years away, million light years away. So you'll be able to jump all right. You'll be jumping through hyperspace to a new galaxy that's like far out there, man.
There's stuff on here. I was like looking at I was reading old Reddit forums, no?
Yeah.
Just for the fuck of it, because like I'm interested in like all these people talking about Star Citizen, right? And they're like, oh, Star Citizen is going to be so much better. It's going to be this. Star Citizen's not going to have a backstory. This game has 30 years of backstory. It's going to be hard to...
It's really hard.
To beat that.
There's books
without
written
making it superficial.
There's books written about this game. In fact, there's a brand new book that just got released called Elite Reclamation. And there's talk of it. The way it's written, it's supposed to be written so that it can be converted into a movie easily. So he wrote it with movie script in mind. And if you listen to the audiobook, it sounds pretty fucked up, man. Like, it sounds like you're in the game. You can hear star bases in the background, like it's familiar territory to any commander. And it's like you're part of this giant story.
Yeah, there's a lot of story. I mean, but really, we didn't miss much. Like, what, the first 2 games that were released, like, just had a bare bones story, like the aliens were like an afterthought and stuff like that.
Yeah, until you get down
the
to
90s. The 90s had like the first like real story.
You have Elite 2 Frontier and then Elite 2 First Encounter, or Elite 2.5 First Encounters. And the First Encounters was when there was some sort of contact made with the Thargoids. That's circa 3200 AD, I think is what they said.
Yeah.
In the timeline. So it's a century before this game starts. And now we're a century later, you know, jump drives have advanced, everything's more advanced, of course, but, you know, what can I tell you? It's had quite a run. The game begins in 31. You know when they discover water in Alpha Centauri? It's 2038. That's where the game really begins, 2038.
Well, yeah, but there's a timeline, actually. Have you seen the timelines online?
Yeah.
Like, people put together and they separate them by if it's fan fiction or canon or game lore, like all that stuff.
Yep.
And yeah, they talk about, like, Talcetti's settlement things.
Well, this is canon because the 2038 date is actually, there's a probe there's a visitor beacon in the Alpha Centauri system that actually says this. So I'm not sure if it was Breakthrough Starshot or one of the projects that was taken on for early space star drive travel in the early 21st century. And the only thing I can imagine it being is those wafer-thin probes that we can launch at near light speed or 30% light speed, which takes
robotic exploration.
Right. So it takes 20 years to get to Alpha Centauri, and then they signal Earth back, and 20 years later we get the results. So that's the first interstellar mission, is Starshot. After Starshot, then pretty much everyone's given up on exploring the galaxy until faster FTL drives are created. Faster than light drives.
Yep.
And that starts somewhere in the 22nd century, and then by the 20...
Oh, yeah, so the way my point is, right, I was checking Reddit, like, to see, like, because I'm listening to all these fanboys to Star Citizen, and, like, you guys don't know what you're talking about, and blah, 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 greatest game ever, right?
Right.
So I went back, like, in time to look at old posts.
Yeah.
When they were still anticipating, what was the game called? No Man's Sky, right?
Right.
And they're like, so Elite Dangerous is out at the time. Like, it's already a released game. And listen to these people talk about, oh, No Man's Sky is going to have all this. It's going to be everything Elite Dangerous has.
Years later, we're still waiting.
Yeah, and it's like... So they're just trashing it. And it's like bird in the hand situation.
I mean, both games have I mean, there is no story really behind whatchamacallit, the
No Man's Sky?
No Man's Sky.
Citizen.
Star Citizen, thank you. There's really no story behind it, but...
What I don't understand, though, about No Man's Sky is the graphics. Like, I mean, why is that game, like, so hyped?
Because they're trying to do it from the perspective of space legs up, right? So you start off with
No, here's why. It's because it was like a fucking dumbed-down, point-and-click controller arcade-style controls. Not
the controls are more primitive.
Console people, and it was like geared for console people. And you can tell, like,
you can't have
consoles.
Yeah, you can't have a spaceship cockpit that's a fucking game console. You need more functionality than just like X, A, and Y on the freaking like Xbox controller.
I don't even know how that's gonna be done. I'm trying to think, like, in this game, I guess you gotta, like, oh my god, I mean, I can't imagine using a game controller. Like, maybe a game controller plus a supplemental, like, thing on the side.
Well, you need menus, and you need panels, and you need, like, you need advanced controls. You can use a game controller, but you still have to have some sort of in-game interface, right? Like Elite has. But it's,
You need, like, a gaming mouse to make this game the best. Like, if you're really going to be a combat pilot,
well, everyone has their
gaming
preference.
mouse.
Everyone has their
I
preference.
don't have it.
HOTAS is supposed to be the end-all, be-all, but I haven't really gotten the investment into HOTAS yet. I suppose I could order a HOTAS controller, but it's not vital. Plus, you know what? Xbox controllers are cheap. They're dime a dozen. They only cost, like, basic units $35 here, so whatever. Now, what was I doing again?
You were trying to do that mission for 13 million credits.
Well, first I have to. Oh, I have to dump. I have to dump off all my propaganda. Here's my propaganda. La, 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 la. It's Aisling Duval and her propaganda.
On the Empire? Yeah.
We're gonna just dump our propaganda.
Is she getting married yet? She's supposed to be getting married, no?
No, she's banging some jock from, or some princeling.
No, the senator or something, or the ambassador.
No, there's a princeling involved. There's it's not a commander, but it's a guy who flies spaceships for a living in some capacity for the Empire. And he's like the I think he's the inside favorite. She might marry the senator for political reasons, but I don't know. Depends.
There's a senator, an ambassador, and like a general commander.
Yeah, princeling.
Yeah, whatever it is. But he's like a Navy admiral. Or
yeah,
something.
now, yeah, because he knows the... But really, he's just a boy toy. Aisling's boy toy. Her favorite. That's okay, I wouldn't mind being Aisling's favorite.
At least you get a good ship.
Oh, you get a good ship, alright. Confirm. Okay, we have our notes.
I need to look at Aegis and Eagle Eye. I have to investigate that more. Oh my god, fucking 78 jumps. Yeah, that's good. Not bad.
Actually, I thought what Frontier should do is get like a model who looks like Aisling to show up at shopping malls and stuff and promote Elite.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool. And then she could have her little entourage full of like, cute boys and girls following her around.
No, it'd be great. It'd be great, like hover hands, selfies.
Yeah, yeah.
You're gonna have like all the elite nerds who would be afraid to touch her when they take selfies. It'll be great. Hover hands. Have you seen that shit? Hover hands pics?
No.
It's when like some nerds or some shit like win like the award for like best like StarCraft player ever, right?
Right.
And so they get to meet like, and to present the award is like some like the teen idol model for whatever. And when they take the picture, she's like, okay, everybody get over here for the hug, the group hug.
Yeah.
And you see like the guys are afraid to put their hands on her shoulder. So their hands are like around her back, but like a centimeter away from her skin. Like they're afraid to touch the model. Look up hover hands on Google, man. It's
That's hilarious.
Hover hands,
just
trust me.
touch the model. For God's sake,
Yeah,
she's not gonna mind
such,
that
like,
much.
They're incels.
They're paid to do this anyway, so you may as well.
Exactly.
They're
like, what do you think they're doing? Like, giving a dissertation on physics? I mean,
no,
they're like a video game nerd model.
they know what they're being paid for in advance. They have to do a group hug and then have the picture taken and etc. And that's it. And then they can
what's
go.
What's that guy's name? Boogie? The World of Warcraft player, the big fat one.
Oh my God!
It's like he's got like C cups at least, maybe bigger. I don't know. But I was like listening to him like talk about women, and I was just like, oh my God, dude, you're so.
Well, they don't.
Your life is over.
They don't have a lot of social interaction, so if they sound unpracticed, you can understand that's because they spend all day in a video game. What do you expect?
Oh, wow.
Okay, so now we have that. Now we're going back
He was interviewing Brad McQuaid, the guy who, the lead designer of EverQuest.
Oh, yeah?
And he had an interview with him once by Skype. And the more I, see this guy, Brad McQuaid, I realize, he may have come up with the major idea, the general outline, but I really get the feeling, all the good parts of the game were, created by other team members. And since he's the one person recognized as starting off the project, he got all the credit for it. When I was listening to him talk about games, I was like, oh man, this guy he really doesn't know.
You find in the business world, that's what happens a lot, is project managers, CEOs, middle managers, they ride on the coattails of people who actually do the... I mean, it's not that they aren't worthy of some credit, but there are other people on the team that participate, right? And the way that it sometimes gets presented is like, you know, there's one or two people behind the whole idea. Well, that does happen too, but not nearly as frequently. Especially with a project like EverQuest or whatever. Or even Elite, for that matter. It's not, I mean, David
Dude,
Broad...
that happened with my fucking Kerbals. With Kerbal Space Program,
Yeah.
there was one guy. One guy invented the whole game, right?
Yeah.
And how did he come up with the idea, right? He had this fantasy about these little things, Kerbals in space, from when he was like a kid. So it was like his childhood invention, like...
Yeah.
And he was a programmer too, so like he was able to like really implement and come up with the system, and then brought other people onto the project. And he asked the owner, he's like, "Hey, let me use some company resources. They won't interfere with my work," because they were like a computer modeling firm.
Okay.
So it's like when companies say we have an expo, we need a special software to like do this or show these pictures. Can you do it for us?
Okay.
Like custom marketing computer software.
Right.
For displays and shit.
Right.
And so he made this game, and he started getting more people on, and became really big. After like all that shit, like after it got really, really big and got like got picked up by Rockstar, they fucking fired all the original dev team.
What?
And now the people that work on it, yeah, they fired the original dev team.
That's so typical. You know what? I keep thinking,
they hate the fucking game.
Yeah, I keep thinking Rockstar, you know, that there's something familiar about that. Some companies just love to get rid of the dev team once they have their little project goals met. And they're not even concerned about upgrades. They've got a one-title wonder, and that's it. And you know if they fire the whole dev team, that's all it'll ever be, because they aren't interested in doing a maintenance of the game or creating anything beyond what they've got.
Yeah, exactly. It's like minor bug patching and like gimmicky content releases. Like, oh, we're gonna release new skins for this.
Yeah.
It's like nobody gives a shit about new skins, dude. They care about
features.
gameplay mechanics.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, but whatever. I try to tell them this all the time, man. We had like a big meeting about it. I was talking about it, and I'm like, hey, you guys don't want to go the way of like World of Warcraft, you know? Like you get rid of like all the key players, and then what are you left with? A game that's empty.
Yeah.
And then you start hemorrhaging content, and then they all got pissed off at me. But I was right. I'm like, that's exactly what's happening.
Sometimes the problem, I mean, there are different reasons that can happen in the business universe. I mean, one could be that the developers want more money, but not very often. I mean, most of the time developers just want to develop. I haven't met too many cases where I've encountered greedy developer syndrome, and the developers are like trying to hose the company management for more money than is really available to the business.
Dude, are you nuts? It's always the people that own the company that are always trying to take advantage of the developers.
Yeah.
Because they don't know. They're just like, oh, we want another World of Warcraft.
The mistake is a lot of these.
Make another Call of Duty and make us money.
A lot of these people think that developers are somehow a dime a dozen. That there's no real skill, talent, or anything involved because there's so many of us, right? But the Canadian government came out recently, for example, and they were wondering why all their technology projects are failing, and people were asking questions. So they come out and say, well, we can't find anyone. We're not graduating enough university graduates. Like, you plenty of people in the market already who know the shit. They may or may not have computer science degrees. If they do, great. If they don't, that's great too. But the government puts too heavy an emphasis on specific architectural components that aren't relevant to the project, or are unwilling to put faith in the individuals who demonstrate a capacity for adapting quickly to changing technology needs, and basically just get the job done anyway, regardless of what, you know, their core competency might look like on their resume. And your job as the recruiter is to find out, can this person fit in here? And too often it's all done on paper. There's plenty of people. The truth of the matter is there's lots of people, lots of developers in the marketplace, but you have to work to find them. And they're not a dime a dozen. Each of them
You should look at the Obsidian Software documentary.
Back in where?
The Obsidian Software documentary.
Oh.
Black Isle Studios team that left. Interplay when Interplay went bankrupt.
Right.
And then after they left, they founded their own team with like Orquid Feargus and Chris Avalon and all the Fallout original developers except for Brian Fargo, the original, but he was really just the CEO of Fallout. But whatever, he created Wasteland, so I'm going to give him some credit for that. And there's like Tim McCain, but all these people, right, like, and you can really see like which one of these people were the talented programmers and which one of them were just on TV for interviews. Like,
the funny thing is,
like,
I've done
top-heavy management that wasn't doing anything.
Yeah, a lot of the
So
time,
like,
a lot of the time, you try to explain to people, look, I run my own company as an independent software consultant for the government of Canada. I do my own accounting, do my own taxes, my own books, a whole works. I mean, this is stuff that they hire people internally inside the government of Canada. That's their sole function there, is just to do that job. I not only do that job, and quite often. Well, not often, but I have to track what money is coming in and what money I choose to lay out for various purposes. But not only do I do that job, but I also can write code. And I don't think people understand there is a marked difference between, it doesn't work in reverse, like other people who can, you know, be accountants or bean counters or whatever, don't code very often. It probably does happen. There are, I'm sure, some very intelligent accounting people out there, but it doesn't seem to happen nearly as often.
There's also different levels of accounting. I mean,
oh, sure.
you couldn't do the accounting of like IBM.
No, not the whole company. No one person does that anyway. Yeah, no one person does that anyway.
It's too complicated for who coordinates. Those people really do know what they're talking about.
They have teams of certified management accountants and whatnot. I'm not one of those.
But having people that fucking collect receipts and shit and then collate them into a database, yeah, that doesn't take a genius.
No, but there are people whose job function is to do that, and they get paid for it. And that's all they do.
Yeah, because it's not worth it for anybody who's important at the company. That's why.
It's really tedious. I don't like that aspect of my job at all, but I have to do it. I like writing code, not counting money.
Oh, I wouldn't do that ever. Fucking, if I had to enter the receipts of a company, that's like the worst possible job. Like, you're not even part of the company, you're just like collecting like numbers.
Actually, you'll laugh. I've been on the shelf long enough. From like for 4 months, I've been waiting, trying to find a suitable contract. It's been tough in the last 4 months. These little spurts happen every once in a while. So I thought, oh well, maybe to earn some money, I should join a landscaping company and get into shape and like get outside a bit more, enjoy the pleasant weather. And sure enough, at the grocery store today, there was a guy from a landscaping company who expressed interest in having me aboard temporarily. And I was like, that might be an interesting job. I might enjoy that. But I don't know. We'll see. I've got a lot of irons in the fire right now, and if one of them closed, I'm afraid landscaping wouldn't be my focus. Oh! I'm 66 kilometers away from this starbase. It looks hilarious.
Well, you came out at 66 kilometers?
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
I'm just looking at it right now. It's like far away. I mean, I'll get there fairly quickly, but it's a little further away than normal.
How far is the universe? Like, for example, like I know you can fly to star bases, right? Like you can actually fly between them if they're close enough. Like you can go from a star base to a planet just by like.
Well, I know this that
not being frame shifted.
You can't jump. There were there were 4 star systems where I was trying to determine what the shortest distance was required in order to engage the hyperdrive. It turns out that 1.3 light years is the shortest distance that you can have a star system away from your ship before it'll engage the hyperdrive. 1.2 and you're going to be traveling just using ordinary jump drive, like in-system jump, not hyperdrive. So the hyperdrive engages at 1.3. And so theoretically between 1.2 and 1.3 light years is your maximum instance size. So
but you can travel like between any star in the system with just in-system drive.
well,
right?
in theory you could travel from any star system to any other star system. Like just point your ship at a star that's, you know, within a realistic, say, you know, within a week.
Yeah, but what do they have for the boundaries of the game? Like, what's the farthest thing out?
Oh, Beagle Point is farthest away from Sol, and the star systems that are the furthest away, I think basically are dependent on maximum jump distance. So it's something like 70 or 80 light years, something like that. Outside the galaxy, and then that's it. I mean, you have to be at a star system because your hyperdrive needs a gravity well in order to stop. So
Yeah.
without that, you're just going to run out of fuel and be lost to hyperspace forever. The so-called being lost in witch space scenario. This is why Raxla, one of the reasons Raxla is such an important mystery to be solved, because we're probably never going to be able to get outside the galaxy until someone can point us in the right direction, right? And Raxla is thought to be a hyperspatial gate to the Andromeda Galaxy, is one of the scenarios that was conjured up. What a hyperspace gate looks like, I don't know. I suspect it's a big circle you fly your ship through and suddenly you're in a new galaxy. But that's just a guess. I have no idea, in fact. Whatever it is, Frontier has already said it's out there. They've stashed it away somewhere in the galaxy, so it's your job to find it.
Yeah, it's gotta be clues, though.
No, there's no clues.
I'm not gonna-
Actually, Frontier they said point blank, we're not giving you any clues. Ever. You will have to find Raxla completely on your own. There are no clues we'll be giving you. None. So...
Yeah, look at these, 63,000 light years. Like, looking way out in the end of the spiral arms.
Yeah. Well, in theory, the Milky Way galaxy in the real universe is 100,000 light years across, approximately. So that, I guess, in this game, I don't know. There's probably a few stars lingering outside the galaxy they haven't accounted for in the galactic map, which are unreachable.
Alright, here's the limits of the galactic map. The galactic map only spreads to 75,000 light years.
Okay.
That's it. That's the limit that you're able to go, like, just by moving the map as far as you can.
And there's over 400 billion stars and over 1 trillion planets inside that space.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And by the way, guess what the galactic population is of humanity right now? 6.6 trillion. Galaxy-wide, there are over 6.5 trillion human beings. Isn't that just insane?
Yeah. Damn. The only thing I don't like about this is it doesn't give you a good, like, view, like, of star populations. Like, I'm going up from the center of the galaxy. Like, there's Hypoi, which is up. I'm trying to go up vertically on the z-axis.
Yeah.
And it's very hard to see on the z-axis because the field of view for stars is kind of like screwed up.
Here, let me pull
Like,
up the map here.
you have to be zoomed. You have to be zoomed at, like, you can't be zoomed all the way in, but you can't be zoomed all the way out, or they won't populate.
No, I know
Like,
what you mean. You have to be just so far away.
Yeah. The map, actually, this galactic map, although it's pretty nice, it could use a lot more features. Jesus Christ, how high do these things go?
It's supposed to be at the bulge in the center. It's 30,000 light years thick in the real universe, and 10,000 in the rim. So where Earth is right now, it's 10,000 light years thick.
Because I'm in this, like, high poise system. Oh, my God. Oh, here we go. Now I'm in a new one. Sinrumai. Okay, that's... Now the stars are thinning out a lot. Like, a lot. Okay, here we go. I think I'm at the limit for the upper limit.
Okay, the top coordinate at the roof of the galaxy, I'm at coordinates 10,000 by 9,015 by 10,000. So it is 10,000 light years thick up here.
How did you scroll up? What's the...
Well, there's a button on my controller, the A controller that moves the galactic map up.
Oh, nice. I have to drag a mouse button.
Yeah, if you're not using Xbox controller then, or a HOTAS, then you have to. But there is an easy feature. If you go into your options, you can map a button to it, and it'll let you move the galaxy map.
Nah, I got it. I zoomed out up to the top, okay. And I'm at 9,015.
Okay, I'm moving directly to the roof above Sagittarius A, and we'll see what stars we have here.
There's nothing up here.
Hey.
It's like there's nothing up here.
There's got to be something. Oh, hang on.
Nope.
I moved. Hang on, I moved too far.
I'm gonna go a little bit down. I'm gonna go to 8,000 and look around.
What? I'm flying around all over the place. It's really hard to control this. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, so I'm at maximum top distance now. Okay, we're at the roof above Sagittarius A. There are no stars in any direction. The field is clear. I have a grid. I'm looking at the grid. The star field is clear. Okay, now we'll go down. The star field is somewhat clear, but there is some densely packed regions. So I'm about 1,400, about 1,500 light years above, towards the roof above Sagittarius A, and that's where the stars seem to end.
Here is... Yeah. It seems like, what is it? Synthi, whatever that star system is.
Oh, there it is. I found it.
What star system?
I'm in the Fois-Audst sector. Hang on. I'm going to still climb here a little ways, and we're going to see... I've got the stars on the map, so I'm just going to climb a little ways, and we're going to see what we get.
Yep.
Alright. Climbing. I can see the bubble and the Great Annihilator off in the distance. The hell's the point of the Great Annihilator anyway? It's not like a particularly large black hole, is it? Hello? Hello?
What? I was eating apples, so I don't want to, like, talk and eat in the microphone watch.
And crunch, crunch, crunch in the phone. Or in the phone.
Hear that?
Yes, you're smacking her lips. Oh, hang on. Okay, the Quemi sector. Quemie. Victor Delta Tango Echo 3-11.
Well, people have been out that far. No, for sure people have been to the absolute end. I mean, without the bugs. Like, somebody had a bug and they were going through, like, FSD velocities, but, like, in the system, so obviously people went that far. But, I mean, people legitimately jumped 70,000 light years.
Really?
For sure. I mean, if people went to Colonia, what the hell, why not?
Well, the largest jump I know of is Colonia at 21,000 light years. That was the largest jump mankind has ever had.
No, I mean, people in this game have explored past that distance.
Oh, yeah, they've explored past, but I mean, the largest single jump is 21,000 light years, and it took like a giant FSD drive to do it, the one on Colonia. Colonia is a starbase with an FSD. That's why it's unique. It used to be called Jock Station. In fact, it still might be called Jock Station for all I know. Haha. Okay, this Quemi Sector Victor Delta Tango Echo 311 is a T Tauri star directly above Sagittarius A. Distance 26,624.34 light years from the bubble. There are no people, there's no government, no state, no economy, and there's really nothing here. It looks like a normal T Tauri star. The next nearest system, however... Oh, it's a ways off.
Yeah, they're all going to be normal.
See, they put stars completely out of range like this, and you just can never jump to them. There's an F white star in the Quemi sector, Quebec Hotel Mike, Delta 7-5. Also, no legions, no population, no government, no state, no nothing. But
yeah, you're not going to find any of that. Like, the closest ones, there's a small group around Colonia, and then there's some in the nebulas outside the bubble for civilized space.
Yeah, well, there's...
Like, you're not going to...
I did find some odd... if you go rimward out from the bubble, towards the Formidine Rift, there was a colony I found near the Formidine Rift somewhere. And it's like a base. If you want to go to the Formidine Rift and explore for Raxla, it's like the Raxla... Children of Raxla have put a base out there, and it's near one of the nebulas. But that's it. That's all I know. Alright, we're going to leave this section of space, because we...
I was just at a base out here. I was in a base in one of these nebulas. Because I had to get my ship repaired before I came back. So, luckily enough, I was, like, stopped at a base, because all those, like, neutron star jumps and everything was really, like, destroying my ship.
Yeah, it'll do that.
Yep.
Okay, where the hell is Sol? Earth is around here somewhere. Aha.
I have Sol bookmarked on my galactic map. I bookmarked all, like, major interesting locations.
Yeah, my bookmark inventory is full, though. There we go. My main base is in the Duamta system. It's about 16 light years away from Sol. Okay, we're ready, and jump. We're headed back to Duamta. It's a contested system, 120.81 light years. F White Star Federation, 13.3 billion corporate state. Agriculture refinery.
You're talking about jumps that are so small. Like, those are just ridiculously small distances for me.
Yes, they are. And
I mean, I'm like crossing like 4,000 light years still to get back. Oh my god, it's ridiculous.
Actually, this...
I'm really out there.
Yeah, this one will only take me 4 jumps to return to.
60 jumps. I'm 60 jumps short of my distance.
Yeah, well, 4 is better than 60. What I might do for you, since you're a wonderful person, is I might stay logged in, but AFK, so that you can do some of that mission, and then I'll pick up whenever you don't do tonight, I'll pick up myself. And then, as long as you're, I won't finish the mission until you're logged in tomorrow. I'll wait until like 10 Eastern to see you logged in, and then I'll finish it. That way you get full credit.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
So whatever the look at before you log out tonight, look at the clock on the mission. Find out when's the latest you can be logged in at, to make sure that that's realistic, and make sure you're just logged in like an hour or two ahead of time to make sure. And then you'll get 13 million credits. And you only have to be logged in for like 5 minutes. If you're too busy or have other things you're doing.
I'll be fine. I'll be there. Best depends on your goal. Look at this. To get to Colonia, people are like, oh, you need to make a second account.
I'm not making a second account. That costs money.
Yeah, they're like, make a second account to get to Colonia.
No.
Make an account just for exploration. I'm like, Jesus.
No, I'm not paying another $35 just to have like another elite account.
Yeah. But that is a serious jump to get to Colonia, no?
Yeah. It is.
Like,
I mean,
when you're literally using all your time to get there.
Yeah, it takes a while, but in terms of the amount of distance traveled, like for the actual amount of real time that's spent doing it, oh, it's infinitesimal. The day when we as a species can transit 21,000 light years in under a month, real time, holy shit. Then we can really explore the galaxy. But of course, for a game,
unfortunately, that might never happen.
That might never happen. It's 1,000 years in the future. Can you imagine? Okay, think back 1,000 years ago. What humanity was doing back then. If you told them that we'd be...
no, we were pretty advanced 1,000 years ago compared to.
Okay, if you told them we could fly. If you told them we could fly to the moon and that we were thinking about forming colonies on Mars, I mean, they didn't even know Mars was a planet, for Christ's sake. So
no,
I mean,
we knew Mars was a planet. The planets were all named.
They didn't know it was a world.
Named except for the.
Yeah, they saw
Jupiter.
They saw a light in the sky and called it Mars. It doesn't mean they understood what that meant and that Mars was another world in a system of stars. Copernicus didn't actually discover that the sun was the center of the solar system until 1520 something AD. So it was a few hundred years later. Like 1,000 years ago, we didn't even know what the solar system was really, and we certainly didn't know what a galaxy was. The galaxy, that whole concept of a galaxy, doesn't happen until the 20th century. Finally, in the 20th century, we realized our sun is part of a larger structure called a galaxy, and there's lots of other stars in it around us.
Okay, but
before that, they thought it was just the universe.
The solar system. Okay, so the first probe ever launched that was built for like long-term sustainable travel, only in the last 20 years left the limits of our solar system.
Well,
technically, go after the limits of comets. So
yeah,
come on.
Technically, Pioneer 10 was before Voyager 1, but Pioneer 10 wasn't designed, you're right, to actually leave the solar system, and it doesn't work anymore.
Yep.
But Voyager 1 will work for another 5, maybe 6 years on its current fuel supply. But its signal is getting awfully faint anyway. They had dishes. I don't know if they ever planned to actually have it be sending data back from interstellar space, but that's what it's doing.
It's not really sending data, they're pinging it, that's it.
Well, it did do a measurement of the interstellar plasma field a few years ago. So when it crossed outside of the heliosphere and left the sun's gravitational pull permanently, at that point they did a measurement and found out that there is such a thing as galactic plasma. The flow of hydrogen changed, like the direction of particle flow changed, particle flux became less dense. I mean, there was a bunch of phenomena they recorded, and they decided that they were in interstellar space at that point. Now, did they expect that to happen? Well, at some point, sure, but I don't know if they ever expected Voyager to actually transmit that data back to Earth.
breaking.
It's a remarkable probe, it really is. I mean,
I don't think you're gonna break the speed of light. The best thing they're gonna do is like long-term propulsion technologies to try to get really small objects going as fast as they can, building up acceleration as long as they can to try to get to places that are like near neighbors.
What if I told you?
Like micro probes south of Centauri.
You probably wouldn't believe. You
years.
probably wouldn't believe me if I told you I knew for a fact that they could go faster than light, but I can't say how.
No, they really can't.
Okay.
They got the Algeri like theory, the surf theory. All those are like bullshit theories.
Has nothing to do with anything that you've heard of so far. Nothing that the world's heard
If
of
it's
so
to
far.
do it by the power of your mind, that's bullshit too, or whatever
Nope.
the hell you're gonna come up with.
Nope.
Or fucking like water fission. Anything you've read on Zero Hedge is bullshit.
I didn't read it.
If you dream it, if you dreamt it, or aliens gave it to you. If you were visited by aliens and they told you, that's also bullshit.
Why? Have you ever
Because
met?
aliens didn't visit.
Have you ever met someone who claimed to encounter aliens?
Actually, yeah, I met like 4 fucking people.
Actually, you live in Mexico. Mexico is like a hub of alien activity. How can you not believe in aliens?
Exactly. I met 3 fucking Russians. Because they're Russians. They're fucking nuts. Russians believe in conspiracy theories because of the historical cultural distrust of the government.
I know, but there's whole cities in Mexico where Mexicans, everyday Mexicans, reported seeing things.
That's not true.
What?
They just find that's not true. Like everyday Mexicans, it's not the whole city until like, oh, I saw aliens. The whole city is like, oh yeah, we saw a light in the sky.
Yeah, well, it could have been aliens.
They don't. Yeah, it could have been aliens.
Well, what else would it be? It's not like the Mexican Air. It's not like the Mexican Air Force is testing any like late breaking or cutting edge equipment that is
They
gonna.
actually do. They have fucking F-22s here.
No, they don't.
The Mexican Air Force.
No, they don't. They certainly don't, because the Americans will never, ever let that technology go. Never. Canada is a closer ally than Mexico, and we don't have
Check
it.
the Mexican Air Force.
You don't have F-22s. You have F-35s, not F-22s.
What do you mean you don't have them? They just sold them they just sold a bunch of F-22s to the Middle East. And it cost a shit ton of money, and everybody was pissed.
They won't let that technology go. No. Not yet. Maybe in another 10 years or so, but not yet. They're working on the Mustang 2. The F-45 or F-46 contract is the next one. That one's supposed to be able to go into low Earth orbit. It's a fighter that goes into low Earth orbit. Do you really think they're going to be like selling? And the F-22 can almost do that now. Do you really think they're just going to sell that technology off to any country that wants it?
Well, it's already in Japan.
Yeah, but Japan's already 10 years ahead of the rest of the world in every other technological field anyway. They're building intelligent robots, for Christ's sake.
I'm not building intelligent robots. You have a lot of weird you have like a lot of mixture of science fiction versus science. Like you're confusing simulated
Well, they
intelligence
had
with
no.
intelligence.
Actually, there is a basis for this. I mean, they had cell phones, like really advanced cell phone features, about 10 years ahead of the United States. So, and I thought maybe they got AI. Some of their robots do behave in a very almost Turing test defeatable way. But I don't think that they're really intelligent. Not yet. We'll get there, but not yet. And as for light speed, well, it might not be a human that works it out, maybe. Maybe it'll be AI that works out the mysteries of it. Maybe there are alien species out there. Well, I'm quite sure there are.
Okay, here's the point. You're not going to be able to take matter faster than the speed of light. That's just not
No,
gonna
you
happen.
won't. Not in normal space. You won't. No, you can't. It's impossible. But there are levels of not. I hate using the term dimensions, but there are ways to sort of get around some of the rules that Einstein himself documented, such as wormholes. That will.
Yeah, but whatever. This discussion isn't fruitful. I've already read most of those theories. I already know what they're talking about.
Yeah,
the technology to get them isn't like people say, oh, you got to get wormholes.
But 1,000 years. But 1,000.
We don't know if they exist.
But 1,000
We're
years.
saying something like you have to go to black holes. There's no such thing as traveling into a black hole. the technology necessary to get to those conditions would outstrip the technology necessary to go faster than the speed of light.
Right. But 1,000 years?
Not even close.
We'll see.
1,000 years we might be lucky for an Alpha Centauri getting data.
What was that?
We probably will be. We probably will be at Alpha Centauri sending back data by 1,000 years. Would not be surprised if we weren't.
I think so, but I don't know how much further we'll get. Like, it's hard to tell you today, you know, how much further we'll get. It could end up like this. I mean, there could be hyperspace is a reality. I mean, again, it's been worked out arithmetically, and Einstein backed it. So
doesn't matter if he backed it. What the fuck? Einstein was wrong about a lot of shit too. Number one, I mean.
Well, he's been right about a lot of other things. So
no, he hasn't. He was wrong about quantum physics.
No,
he was completely wrong about quantum physics.
He wrote about
so totally wrong about it. It's a joke.
That's what's special.
Wrong.
That's why he created special relativity. You wouldn't have quantum mechanics without special relativity.
Yeah, you would.
No, you wouldn't.
People were.
How could you?
People were theorizing quantum mechanics, like contemporary to him.
Yes, and he debated them.
So.
He understood it far better than you or I ever will.
Yeah, probably, but whatever.
But I watch this shit all the time. I'm looking, always find it interesting. I was never very good in math, but physics, I always found it interesting. And personally, I think we'll get there. 1,000 years is
where am I?
1,000 years is a hell of a long time.
Galactic map. How far am I? Oh, it's not that far. I'm looking how far I am. Oh, it's real far. I'm 1,500 light years out.
That's not that far.
Oh, no, 1,500. That's not that far.
But because of, thanks to your insolence, however, I've decided to take away light speed from you. So now you have to take 1,500 years to transit that distance.
I would like to find a neutron star, like a series of them.
Oh, brown dwarf, watch out.
I gotta like work tomorrow morning early. I don't want to be jumping across space all day. I have so much shit to do today. Oh my god.
It was a busy day for me as well.
Well, I went 50 jumps today. That's a pretty good amount. Like, I kind of want to like get back to Thargoid space and go to the Pleiades and check everything out.
Oh, when you get to Obsidian Station, or yeah, I think it's Obsidian Station in the Maya system.
Yep.
Obsidian Orbital. If you visit Obsidian Orbital, guess whose voice comes through on the Starbase intercom?
Oh.
Obsidian Ant.
Oh, no shit. Really?
Yeah, they took his voice and he went down to Frontier and apparently it's his voice. I actually spoke to Obsidian Ant last week, and I put that question to him. I said, "Is that your voice on the Starbase?" He said, "Yeah." And I was like, "Oh, okay. Guess it's your voice then."
The Scott Manley, the lead dangerous.
Scott Manley, that's who I was looking for. Jesus Christ, I have to add him to my list.
He was just here. He was just here in Mexico.
Yeah, I know. Wasn't that like a month ago?
Yeah, to my company.
Yeah, you told me, that's right, yeah. I love that guy, he's hilarious.
He's pretty cool. It's fucking weird though.
You should hear some of the jokes he tells though. I mean, just riotously funny.
I don't know if I find funny.
Well, it talks about how you eject a heat sink inside of a starbase, and it's like a white marble inside of a dryer, going around and around and around, damaging everything in the middle of it. I just found that image conjured in my mind really fucking hilarious. This white hot marble. Oh, in the RR Cayley system. But first, we'll scan. Scan, scan, scan. Bipeds pushing buttons. iPads fixing relays. Oh! Oh! Hang on a second. Your friend is here.
What?
Hang on.
No, Esquadro's here. You're here.
Oh, but he's not in the wing.
Esquadro's doing whatever he's doing. I don't know.
Yeah, hang on here. We'll just find out. Okay, where is Mr. Esquadro? Invite to the wing. There we go. And now...
I can't
Hello.
believe the Aspect Explorer is the best ship.
Guess who's with us today?
Mr. Harden?
Mr. Harden from Mexico City. He's here
How's it
again.
going, buddy?
That's fine. I have a 1070 GTX video card.
Playing with his new video card.
Yeah, it's fucking much better. Oh my god. Makes all the difference. Costs a lot of money though to do all these upgrades.
Oh my god,
Well,
I'm
you have
home.
no shields. You have no shields. What the hell's wrong with you?
With who? Me?
Yeah, you.
It's coming through as the shields are down.
I'm being a cheap-ass hauling freight with no shields.
Oh man, I just missed an unidentified signal source as I was jumping out. God damn it. I hate that when you see shit, like, in the process of the jump. Like, I'm down here in deep space trying to, like, do shit. And
Yeah, what
that's
are you
the
so
few
far out of the
pleasures.
bubble for? You on your way to Colonia?
No, I'm coming back now. I had to go to a nebula, get some fucking Palin quest unlocks, and then...
Hang on. I'm in the death cone. Oh no, what'll this mean?
This is actually one of those situations where it would be worth it to program a macro.
With a death cone? No.
No, to fucking go like 5,000 light years distances.
Yeah, probably.
Like, just really like programming a nice little macro.
Yeah, but then you
Like,
lose. You
with
eventually lose your account. By the way, Esquadra, I just shared a mission to you,
Yeah, I see that.
and it's worth 13 million. But you have to come up here to get it. But it's worth it because it's 13 million for everyone. So I thought I'd include it. And we have another, how much time do we have left to finish it? 21 hours, 55 minutes, so just under 22 hours. So you can log off tonight and it'll still be there tomorrow, but you'll have to like log in sometime tomorrow to like fairly early to make sure you get credit.
That'll be the tough thing. I got probably won't be getting on till late tomorrow.
Well, then you better do it tonight.
If I even get on.
49 jumps, Talia. God damn.
I'm gonna be AFK shortly. I'm gonna listen to my or watch my whatchamacallit. I'm gonna watch my episode of what the hell is the name of that fucking show I watch every goddamn week?
Expanse?
The Expanse, thank you. Jesus, what the hell's wrong with my head today?
Yeah. The
So-
Expanse is actually more like X3, which, by the way, X3 has they're coming out with a new one, X4, no?
Yeah, and The Expanse, it was canceled, but another network picked it up. So now there will
Wait,
be
they canceled The Expanse? Why?
Because Sci-Fi's is managed by a bunch of nincompoops. But after
Did that show get, like, fantastic ratings?
it has the best Sci-Fi ratings on TV right now. But anyway, they said Sci-Fi said it was too expensive to create, so they canceled it, and then Amazon picked it up. So now they'll be airing it online on Amazon.
Oh, what the hell, dude? Why isn't Netflix doing it?
And Netflix put a bid in, but I think Amazon just beat them.
Oh, fuck. That's because Amazon was sick of making those loser series.
Yeah, so now they have a winner series.
Yeah, but it's gonna be, here's what's gonna happen. Like, all those, like, places, the networks that try to build successor on one series, no one's gonna change over enough to wanna watch it, like, to get an Amazon Prime account that don't have it. So they're gonna be limited to their more or less current user base. And then they're gonna cancel it because they didn't get enough people to switch over. Why the hell did they cancel it? What the fuck? I was looking forward to watching the next season.
Yeah, Amazon's not going to cancel The Expanse. It'll be their most successful series in all likelihood.
What was that series? Farscape. Remember Farscape?
Yeah. That was back in the day before there was online bidding for this type of thing. Like, what's going on in television right now is groups
They
of
canceled that show. Babylon 5, they canceled.
Yeah, groups of actors and production teams are banding together. They form their own company and then they sell their product to networks independently. So the network can't really. I mean, you can cancel the show, but they can't disband the group or recontract.
They canceled Firefly.
I know.
The guy is now making like Star Trek movies or some shit. What's he directing?
Who? Firefly?
Joe Sweden.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't.
He directed something massive recently. Like, he directed something absolutely massive.
I think he's doing the Elite movie.
Is he?
Probably. Elite Reclamation.
The dude directed like Star Wars or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or wait, no, he directed one of the X-Men movies or Marvel movies. I don't know. He directed something huge.
Do you think there'll be an Elite movie?
I don't know. Maybe eventually. The Elite, I don't think it has enough popularity to justify it. Maybe just in the story grounds.
Well,
if Frontier helps like pay for it and produces it, then maybe.
Maybe.
But there's too much history in this game to really condense into a movie.
Well, you know what? You know what they are turning into a movie? I just heard this recently, and it's solid. Apparently, some big network company is. You're familiar with Isaac Asimov, the Foundation series?
Who?
Isaac Asimov, you know, the big sci-fi
Who's
writer.
that? What is he? Wait, is he a politician or something?
Anyway, they're turning his.
Dude, you're talking about HBO, man. That's what you're talking about.
Okay, anyway.
HBO is producing the series.
Yeah, they're producing the series. I got all excited about that.
I don't know. Fucking.
We'll see.
They stopped releasing news about it, and Foundation has news all the time. For the last 30 years, they've been talking about Foundation series.
Well, you never know.
Exactly. I'm requesting Asimov Foundation a doc. I don't know. I think Foundation is going to be one of those things. If they keep it like close to the book, like really close to the book, it'll be interesting.
Well, of course.
But I don't think they're going to.
It's like there's 10,000 years of galactic history, 1,000 alone in the Foundation.
No, it's not. Yeah, it's like 1,000 in the Foundation.
Yeah, in the Foundation.
I don't think so.
Yeah. Well, the Galaxy series covered 10.
In the Foundation universe.
The Galaxy series.
No, in the Foundation series.
Dude, have you read all these series? Because I have.
I read every one and the prequels and all that shit, dude. I read every one and the prequels and all that shit. You're talking about like the books. No. You're talking about like all the books, like that include like the robot spin-offs and shit. That talk about like 1,000 years after the events in the books. But the original books.
No, I'm talking about. No, you're not listening. I'm taking Caves of Steel, starting with.
Yeah, that's not Foundation like.
Well, if it isn't, okay. If it isn't, then explain to me why R. Daniil Olivas starts in Caves of Steel and ends. His life is over finally at the last book in the last chapter of the Foundation series. Explain that one.
Because that's a lot of retcon shit in that.
No, it's not. That's Asimov.
There is retcon. Dude, look up retcon. Go to science. No. You gotta go to Sci-Fi Stack Exchange. Look up Asimov retcon. and you'll find out like what's considered the real novel. There's a lot of retcon.
Oh, come
And
on.
that's the
Asimov
problem
wrote
with those.
this.
He didn't write all that shit at the beginning. He wrote 3 fucking books to start with, then expanded 2 more books, and then later on in his life, he's like, hey, let me make some other backstory. In fact, some of those books weren't written by him at all. They're written by people that fucking like other writers who ghost wrote them. Okay?
Holy conspiracy theory. And you don't believe in aliens?
No, they were ghost written, mother. That, seriously. How do you not know that? Other people wrote those books at the end.
Alright.
Like the prequels and shit. Yeah, they're retcon.
Anyway, when Ardenil Olivos spins around at the end of and you find him on Earth's moon or whatever, at the end of the Foundation series, I was like, oh my fucking god. As if Ardenil Olivos just suddenly reappears like, 15,000 years after Caves of Steel.
Yeah. And then they had to... No. Caves of Steel... Do you know that those books are written in like reverse order, right?
No. Caves of Steel takes place in the early 21st century.
No. When was Caves of Steel written?
Oh, it was written in 1950s. It was 1950 something. I can't remember the exact date.
I don't think so.
I think so.
Let me check.
Yeah, double check it. Check it. Okay, I have to dock at Davis Terminal, then I'm going to check. What time is it? See, it's 2:56. It's already 4 minutes away from Expanse being available for torrent download. So, okay, Esquadle.
Yeah.
Refresh my memory. What happens if I log out again with this mission? Do you keep it? As long as you guys stay logged in?
Nope.
So it just vanishes?
Yep.
So I gotta stay logged in. Okay.
And you're like in order to do that mission, I gotta go 236 light years away from where I'm at now. For 13 million, I can spend an hour hauling basic medicines to a system that's in
well, it's up to you. I mean, yeah.
I can make that much money, so.
Yeah. And Hardin actually...
tons for 13 million is an awful lot.
Okay, well, given that that's the case, and given that Hardin has to come, like, I don't know, halfway across the galaxy, I'll log off. Hardin still comes...
Yeah.
You should still come towards Earth. Come to Sol, or near Sol somewhere. And I'll be back on after Expanse. You won't be near Earth by the time I get through Expanse.
Oh, no, I won't be able to stay on that long. It's already 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Remember, I get up at 5 a.m. Yeah, don't worry about it. I'm cool.
Okay.
I still got 40 jumps, man.
Okay.
I'm actually going to refuel and I'm going to log off then.
Well, anyway, you're done. You're done. You've done as much exploration as you need to do. So just come back to the bubble and
that's what I'm doing. I'm going straight. Okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Okay, see you tomorrow.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go to bed. Okay, see you guys.
Good night.
Have a good one.
He's gone.
Yep.
Okay, requesting dock. And I'm too fucking far away from the base now because I was chatting it up with Hardin. And we are 10 kilometers away. Engaging all of our engines flank. Auto dock in progress. Okay, it still makes sense for me to do it though, because it's 1.3 at 13 million. It's 1.3 million per jump, per loop. So as long as I get some other missions, it's probably worth it. And let's face it, 13 million is a hell of a lot of credits right all at once. So you don't think you'll be logging in tomorrow?
I don't know if or when. I might be going out to the archery range to help set up for a tournament we're having this weekend.
Okay.
So I can't guarantee I'll get on.
No, if you do, you do. If you don't, you don't. I know what I'll be doing.
Hauling 5,000 tons of water.
I can't believe I'm actually losing, like, I'm getting nervous because it's late at night and that fucking woman who lives below me. I don't want to, like, do anything to piss her off, but I'm not gonna change my schedule just to accommodate her. Like, I have my own apartment, I pay my own money for it. I should be entitled to walk around my apartment as much as I want. And she's making it unlivable.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you about that one.
Well, I think if I get to tribunal, that's exactly the words I'll use to the adjudicator. I'll just say point blank. Like, I don't even want to write my landlord back. I have to, because they've written me a letter, so I want to write them back, and a letter, you know, in print, registered with Canada Post, saying, look, here's what I see. You know, I'm literally tiptoeing around my apartment, trying to avoid pissing her off, and she's just never happy, no matter what measure I undertake to try to keep her happy. She's being vague in describing what it is, and you haven't been, as landlord, frankly, you haven't been very helpful in telling me what I can do to remedy it. I've done everything you've asked. I've laid down carpet, I've put down padding, I've done everything. There is just no keeping this woman happy. She is not going to be satisfied until I'm gone. And I'm at literally a loss to know what to do next.
You got receipts and everything for the carpet padding?
No, first of all, the carpets were donated by family for the most part. I got one donated by a friend, 2 more donated by family. As for the pads, they're like little fucking 1-inch pads I picked up at the Home Hardware. They're laid down. I can take pictures of them, but I'll talk to my lawyer. I'm meeting with him on Monday. We'll see about evidence at that point. We'll get ready for this fucking tribunal. But I'm sick and tired of this. It's a form of harassment, and I don't approve of it at all. And if I'd known it was going to be like this, I would have. But she really needs to go. Like, if she doesn't like living here, then she should move. I'm certainly not doing anything out of the ordinary. I've got an affidavit that backs up my side of the story over hers. What more is there that the tribunal could require? But I still don't want to provoke a confrontation if I can avoid one. So this is my last ditch effort, basically. And this is as far as I will go. If this doesn't work, then she's gonna have to take me to tribunal and lose. And she will lose. Failing that, I'll force her to go into the courts, and it can start costing her money. If I have a job, I'll be able to outspend her, and I'll damage her financially, and she can fucking eat that. Or I'll damage the landlord. It doesn't matter. It'll be one or the other. But I'm not just going to take this lying down.
Request doc.
Okay, I'm going to go to...
Start an online forum against her.
No, that's not a good idea. Not without lawyers being involved. I'll see what the lawyers say to do, and I'll follow their advice. I was a pre-law student, not an actual lawyer, so I know enough not to be provocative that way. In Canadian law, it doesn't usually end up being in your favor.
I don't think anywhere it ends up in your favor.
No, probably not. The idea, lawyers and courts are supposed to be the absolute last resort. Too often in the United States, I have found cases where they are the first resort, not the last. And in Canada, it's an increasing trend as well, and I don't like it. Courts should be, you know, people should try to get it. People should just try to get
You
along.
can't just walk over there and punch him in the face and say,
No, but you should try to get along with your neighbor, is the idea, right? Courts are there in case that doesn't work out for some reason. But sometimes a good smack across the noggin might actually be the right way to fix the problems. Was certainly in one case I can think of in the last 15 years. You wouldn't have ordinarily thought so, but it did end a certain form of harassment that was going on for a little too long, and I fixed it so the harassment didn't continue. And I got away with it, luckily, so. It's the only time I've ever done anything like that, and it worked out in my favor. In the end. But right now I could do without the stress. Okay, I'm going to log off for now. I'm going to go watch Expanse. We'll talk again later. Take care. Have a good night.
"Yep, bye."
Alright everyone, this is Commander Trium. We're going to sign off for now. It's 30624 Zulu on 7 June 3304. I'm at Davis Terminal in the Duamta system. Don't forget to check out the video properties. You have to click more once in the main YouTube interface, hosting this video, and also click the like or subscribe buttons in the main YouTube interface, as the case may be according to your preference. If you want to be kept abreast of live broadcasts or future additions to this video library on YouTube, by all means click the bell icon to the right of the subscribe button, again in the main YouTube interface. We'll be back tomorrow. That's it for tonight, and I've been your host one more time, Commander Trium, signing off.
Crashes,